you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
February is National Pet Dental Health Month. At Parkview Animal Hospital, their skilled doctors and staff can help identify and treat a wide range of dental issues. If your pet is showing signs of bad breath, abnormal chewing or drooling, reduced appetite, or refusal to eat, now is a great time to speak to a member of their team and help get your pet back on track to a healthy lifestyle. Call Parkview Animal Hospital today at 402-423-6939 to learn more about their discounts on dental cleanings, procedures, and hygiene products.
Gentlemen, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Don't be that guy running to the store for flowers and a card on your way home. Hey, Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. We have great Valentine's gifts in store now. And if you spend $99, we'll throw in a free bouquet of a dozen roses. Give her what she really wants this year and let us do the rest. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, your hometown jeweler since 1905 in Lincoln and Grand Island. Online at sartorheyman.com.
Are you in the market for a new garage door or need to repair your old one? It's wintertime, and that means snow, wind, and freezing temperatures, all things that can cause sticky locks and damage to your garage door. If you're experiencing any issues with your commercial or residential garage door during the winter months, call Cameron Hall and his team at Doors Plus. Don't be trapped outside in the cold because of a poorly maintained garage door. Call Doors Plus today at 402-590-5800 or visit them online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This is Adam Carriker on the ticket.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, first and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome, everybody, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. As I adjust my screen here. All right, I hope everyone had a glorious weekend. A lot of Husker sports to talk about, a lot of things to chat about. Nebraska basketball. Okay. Does anybody care about the Pro Bowl? I don't know. I guess we'll talk about that a little bit. I think it's more intriguing than it used to be. All right, Rico's going to be joining me for this first 25 minutes of the show today, doing a little co-host action with me. How you doing, Rico?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, sir?
Dude, it's a gloriously glorious Monday. I do not have a case of the Mondays. I've got a case of the, I don't know. It's a case of the Mondays. I'm just in a good mood for some reason. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a good Monday here. It's a good Monday here in beautiful Lincoln, Nebraska.
All right,
before we dive, camera so I can get on here with you, though.
I was going to say, I can't see your beautiful face, but I can hear your wonderful voice, so that's almost as good. All right, while Rico works on his camera shottage, and I try to work on mine as well, if you're watching on YouTube, ignore everything behind me. Just look at me. Don't do that either. You might regret that. All right, GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, great accents for any backyard landscaping project. They sell to homeowners and contractors, and they deliver anywhere near or far. Stop by at 6701 Cornersker Highway. Check out GELandscapeSupply.com or call 402-467-1620. 827. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a full hour. Grab your lunch. Join us. All right, I have a hat because I didn't comb my hair. I never comb my hair, but sometimes I do. Rico, your hair looks phenomenal. All right,
Hey,
man, let's
looks
talk.
terrible.
Let's talk a little Nebraska basketball. All right, man, what an effort it was yesterday. It felt like they were going to get their first road win. It felt like they earned it. It felt like, and I hate this. Oh, the refs took it away. Oh, the refs stunk. But the refs stunk, Rico. Give me your thoughts on this. I hate saying it. And we're in how long we've been in the Big 12? In Big 10, I'm sorry, like 12 years now. At some point, are the refs going to stop hating us? Like, this is a serious question, man.
I don't know. I don't like being one of the guys who's just like, oh yeah, the refs took the game away or the refs did that. At some point, you have to put the game away where you don't have to worry about the refs. But when it goes into overtime and the game is as close as it is, the refs play a really big part, an integral part of the match, the game. And there were multiple times where the referees let Illinois play, as you would say, physically physical on their end of the floor. And Nebraska, just a little tap on the shoulder, like, hey, excuse me, I got to get by you. All of a sudden, they're just blowing the whistles like it's a foul. It's 2 free throws, one and one. Like, it was ridiculous how different the physicality was for both teams. Illinois allowed to, back their shoulders in and bump and run and all that fun stuff. And Nebraska has to play patty cake. And even then, it was a little too rough for the referees.
I agree with what you're saying. And it's interesting because I hate bringing up the refs. I really do. But sometimes when it's just so blatantly obvious, it's like, how do you ignore it? I think the call that got me the most was the non-travel, which was obviously a travel. I think the Illinois
player, on the offensive rebound.
I mean, he changed his pivot foot, I think 5 different times.
Every
it was
time.
Beyond obvious. It was like a James Harden, LeBron James type travel, but with a pivot foot instead of just walking down the court, not dribbling.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I don't know. I don't understand how all of the referees missed that. I mean, you're obviously looking at the ball. You're looking at the guy who has the ball. Somebody's got to be looking at his feet and realizing the ball has yet to touch the floor, and he's moved from one area to the next. I don't know how he did it, but obviously it's not a travel in these refs' eyes. My biggest gripe was the shot that ended up sending the game to overtime was the foul on the pull-up. He's the Illinois player, I can't remember his name, is driving to the rim. I think it was Damask, was driving to the rim and just jumps up into CJ Wilcher, and it's a shot. It's a thing that KSA had been doing on the other side and was barely getting any foul calls. It's something that they weren't really calling a lot of, that exact movement. And CJ did everything he could. Yeah, he kind of bumped him, but I don't know if I would have called the foul. I wouldn't have called the foul on the other end either if it would have happened. If a Nebraska guy would have pulled up in the same, I wouldn't have called the foul. It was very light. They blow the whistle, call the foul. He makes the first free throw, misses the second. The game goes to overtime. And in that instance, it was just like, okay, this could be a problem. Looking at that and how Nebraska used all of that energy to come back and to first they had the lead, then lose the lead, then come back into it, and then go to overtime. I was a little scared going into overtime that Illinois might run away with it. Luckily, Nebraska kept it close, but still ended up losing 87-84.
All right. We'll leave the Zebras alone for now. All right. Talk to me about Keisei Tominaga. This is a guy, big win against Wisconsin, as we know, at home, number 6 team in the country. Okay, and we played him and beat him. Didn't have his best night that night, but he bounces back. I mean, one of the true tests of a player is how, and I've talked about it here before with the Nebraska basketball team as a whole, is how you handle success, how you handle adversity. I felt like Nebraska basketball maybe hasn't handled success at times this year as well. They came out with a hell of an effort against Illinois after beating Wisconsin. So nothing but respect there. But Keisei didn't have his best performance against Wisconsin. How's he going to bounce back? Okay, what's that mental toughness like? What's his mindset like? In my opinion, whatever message Hoiberg was trying to send him, Keisei said, gotcha, coach. He bounces back, okay, scoring a career-high 31 points on 9 of 14 shooting and 5 of 7 from three-point land. What were your thoughts on his performance and bouncing back the way he did from not his best performance against Wisconsin in the last game?
Like you said, whatever message Fred sent him, it obviously landed, probably benching him for almost for a lot of the second half against Wisconsin. Probably, grinded his gears a little bit, but that's just the Casey that, we were used to seeing after last season. And he's the king of, well, I don't know about the king, but at least to me, the king of taking a shot where it's really far back and you're like, I don't know if you should take that shot, and it hitting nothing but the back of the rim and the net. And you're like, oh, no, okay, never mind. It was a good shot. You have a 7-footer in front of you. You're all of, I don't know, he's like 6'2", which in basketball is pretty short. And he shoots the shot. It barely misses the defender's hand. And you're like, that wasn't a good shot. Goes in. You're like, okay, you know what? Never mind. I'm wrong. You're really good at this. So let me just let you do that. And Casey, this season, at least, he's been so high, and he hasn't gotten super low until that Wisconsin game, but he's just been kind of messing around in the middle and maybe not playing to the all Big Ten preseason caliber that the coaches and the media thought that he was going to. But this is the type of Casey that will keep Nebraska in games and win Nebraska some games. And it's really nice to see that hopefully he's getting that confidence back from, that abysmal performance against Wisconsin.
For me, a couple of things. Number one, he reminds a lot of people, including myself, of Steph Curry. And I don't let my kids watch Steph Curry play, because then they want to throw up these ridiculous three-pointers that nobody on planet Earth, unless you're Steph Curry, is going to make. So I don't allow my kids to watch the Golden State Warriors unless it is like the NBA Finals. Then I relent. Okay, and Casey has the same type of ability. So if you can throw those up and you can make them, nobody's going to say boo. If you're throwing them up and they ain't going in, or your shot's not going in as well, you better be doing a lot of other things really well, or you better limit those shots, okay? Mm-hmm. That's one thought I have. And real quick, before I forget, as always, ladies and gentlemen, send your questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or otherwise. We always end this show. All right, the People's segment, 402-464-5685. 402-464-5685. You could also, I recently discovered, all right, because I'm technologically savvy, never, that I can see the YouTube comments as well throughout this show. So hit us up on YouTube. Hit us up at that number, 402-464-5685. With the basketball team, it's one of those things where I was actually pretty excited. I wasn't excited to see, Casey get benched against Wisconsin, but they found a way to win without him in that game, in the second half of that game. And so to me, that excited me even more. And then you see how he bounced back. So this is a stretch run. They go to Northwestern on Wednesday. Northwestern's like pretty good at home, like 11-2 or something like that.
They've upset some teams.
When I saw that, I was like, I didn't even know they knew what a basketball was there. I mean, seriously, no disrespect, and hopefully we don't lose after I say that, but it's okay. All right, I'm used to talking about wins and losses after Husker games, and I look forward to a winning football season that I get to talk about. Dude, this will be my 10th year of the Chronicles coming up. I've had one winning season to talk about, Rico, one. I want another one, and my life will be so much easier and so much more enjoyable. But down the stretch, going to Northwestern, then they play Michigan the following Saturday. What do you think this team is capable of during the stretch run of the season as we get ready for the Big Ten tournament and hopefully the NCAA tournament?
This game against Illinois showed me that the road woes for Nebraska, although they continue with another loss and they're still at one road win, and that was at Kansas State. I believe that's the only road win that they have. It showed me that the road woes are truly just in their head, because they go to a top 15 team, number 14 Illinois, in a place that they don't play very well. They take the game to overtime. They had every chance to win the game, and they just, kind of got it robbed from them by a couple of guys in black and white, but we're not going to talk about that anymore. But that showed me that they can go on the road and they can do the thing. They have the chance of winning a game. Northwestern, although they are a really good team this year and they are really good at home, again, Nebraska just showed that they can play well on the road. And if they can get a semblance of six-man CJ Wilcher, because he was, after the great game against Wisconsin, kind of fell off against Illinois, but they were definitely, Terrence Shannon Jr. was using his big body and playing extremely physical with him and Casey. Casey just a much better shooter than really anybody else on the floor. But CJ struggled on that one. If you can get some semblance of the six-man that CJ Wilcher is, I think you have a really good chance of taking that Northwestern game. And then Michigan's bad. But again, the game is on the road. You have to go up to Ann Arbor. Nebraska hasn't played well on the road, still only has one road win. But it's a bad team. Although it's on the road, Nebraska still has a chance. They have 4 road games and 4 home games remaining. you want to say, due to the good juju that is at PBA, that you got at least 4 wins left on the schedule with the home games, and then the 4 road games, you have a chance to do something special and do something that Nebraska basketball hasn't done in quite some time, and make a little bit of noise in the Big Ten tournament, and hopefully make the NCAA tournament. I'm actually, despite me being pretty negative all season, feeling pretty positive about this team going down the stretch run. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Pretty positive about your negativity. I'm right there with you, man. Let's give a shout out to Rink Mass with another good outing. Okay, 22 points, 8 of 21 shooting, 4-9 from 3-point range. We do got to talk about, if we're going to talk about the Zebras, and we're not going to talk about them anymore, we're talking about how we're not going to talk about them, so that's how we're not talking about them while also talking about them.
Perfect.
Okay, we got to talk about the fact that Nebraska's got a rebound. They were out-rebounded 50-33, okay, and 17-5 on the offensive glass. Honestly, we can talk about the Zebras all we want, but the fact is, if you don't rebound the ball, like the saying that I say in football, offense puts butts in the seats, defense wins games, the trenches wins championships. I got a similar one in basketball, okay? Offense puts butts in the seats, defense wins games, rebounding, and I know Nebraska basketball and championships hasn't happened a ton, but rebounding wins championships, or if you just want to win games, you rebound the freaking ball. And it's a concept that the youth teams, because nobody wants to rebound, everyone wants to shoot. Hardly anybody wants to play defense. It's dribble, shoot, maybe I'll pass if you're wide open and I'm quadruple teamed at the youth level. But everybody understands the concept of if we miss and we get a rebound, we get twice as many shots. And if they shoot and they miss and they don't get the rebound, like, we have a huge advantage. We had such a big disadvantage in the rebounding department. That has to be addressed, and the emphasis going into Northwestern and Michigan games going forward.
The problem with, and I have to correct myself, the Michigan game is at home. This coming game, the final game of Nebraska season is Michigan on the road, but at Northwestern, home against Michigan. So I apologize for that. The problem for Nebraska, especially in this one, was that one of their better lineups was kind of a smaller lineup where you had Rink Mass at the 5. I think they had Juwan Gary potentially at the 4. And although he's a great rebounder on his own, still a smaller lineup against a team in Illinois that just has a lot of length and a lot of size, and again was allowed to play very physical. So there was that going on where you had some shorter guys on the floor, but also just terrible at finding a body after the shot goes up. Just Nebraska wasn't finding somebody to put a body on, finding somebody to box out, and even if you're not getting the rebound, just keeping that other person away from the ball. They were terrible at that, and then Illinois was doing a great job at whoever was closest to it. If they're not going to get it, tipping it back, and they have some people back there to grab the rebound, reset their offense, and get another shot up. So I have to keep going back to the physicality that Illinois was allowed to play with, and especially, tell me, I don't get this foul. Okay, sorry, this is just stuck in my head. I don't get this foul.
We're not supposed to talk about the Zebras, Rico. We're not supposed to.
I'm not talking about the zebra. I'm talking about the foul. Just the foul.
Okay. There we go.
Well,
I like it. Loophole.
Loophole. So,
I love it.
So Terrence Shannon jumps up over Casey, who's trying to box him out, and they're like, "Oh, he undercut him." I go, "No, he was boxing him out, and Terrence tried to jump over him, and he boxed him out, moving back, and just hit his legs." Casey gets called for the foul. Why do you get called for a foul when somebody lands on you? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And that one might not have been called a foul, but there was a different one where somebody got landed on and it was called a foul. I don't get how that is a foul when somebody lands on top of you. Like, what he was trying to box him out. He was trying to keep him away from the ball. Dude went over his back. I don't know. That sounds like a foul to me. And landed on him. And they're like, you on the ground underneath the bigger guy. How dare you?
All right. So I'm going to go back to the youth basketball thing for a second. And here's why. And it's funny because my wife's, she's built a couple of monsters, one in soccer and one in basketball. Her teams are always small, they're always fast, and they're always insanely aggressive. They've had several opposing coaches describe them as frickin' little piranhas while they're trying to figure out how to coach their team and how to handle it, because her teams are just all over them. They're very aggressive. But one thing that drives us both nuts is the teams are shorter. It's the constant bigger teams just reaching right over the top and reaching right over the back. We have 6 children. 5 of them are rather large. I don't know where they get it from, okay? We have one, Trinity, who's actually like right at the 50th percentile, okay? She is 11, but her 2 8-year-old twin sisters outweigh her and are this much shorter than her. So she's not the tallest individual in the world. And she's great at boxing out, but there's never over the back called. And she actually had the exact same thing happen to her. And so she's a 5th grader playing on a 6th grade team, and then they're pretty good. They end up playing 7th grade team. So she's a 5th grader playing against 7th graders. This gigantic 7th grade girl who towers over her jumped up, got the ball, landed on Trinity, who's boxing out, and they called the foul on her. Now, my wife is the opposite of me. Very, very calm, speaks very slowly, doesn't talk a lot. And in fact, half the time when she's trying to call a press or talk to a girl on the court, they can't even hear her because she's so soft-spoken. I'm not going to say she lost it, okay? But I'm not going to say she's lost it in the same vein that we have not talked about the refs so far. How about that? Okay.
How about she didn't lose it. She just couldn't find it.
Oh, perfect. She didn't lose it, but she couldn't find it. Just like we couldn't find the refs that we're not talking about right here, right now. The answer to your question is my long-winded way of saying I don't know, because we've been perplexed by the same thing for years. And then we know local high school coaches who have similar things that befuddle them, made up word. And then college coaches in our local area. It's the same thing. It's never made sense to me. And it's one of those things where I don't understand why over the back isn't called more. More often than not, the person boxing out gets called for, and it's like 2 + 2 = 5 when it comes to this one specific foul, and it's never made any sense to me. And I got a text from a buddy who's listening. Hi, Tyler. Okay. He's making fun of me. That's why I said it that way. He's got a big old head. I call him Jack in the Box head. So hi, Tyler, Jack in the Box head. He was actually one of the first guys I met when I got to the campus at Nebraska. He was a walk-on from Wahoo, still one of my friends to this day. And so people ask me sometimes, why didn't you play basketball, Adam? You're tall. I'm like, well, 6'6" is not that tall in basketball. And then when you're 295, I'm nothing more than a fat guard. So I just thought I would address Tyler's text publicly here for everyone to hear. I didn't play basketball because I wasn't that good. I was Dennis Rodman, foul, rebound, play defense, and I'd have been a fat guard, but nowhere near as good as, like, Charles Barkley wasn't that tall. Rodman wasn't that tall to play down low. They were just way more skilled. I don't know, long-winded answer to your question. Hopefully it was somewhat interesting at some point.
Yeah, no.
Rico.
Answered it perfectly. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, basically. All right, man, I appreciate you joining me. All right, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be joined by an individual who has been with the Ticket since day one of 2011, Mr. Tom Stevens. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
We wait all pro football season for the big game. But will you come out on top? Warhorse Festival of Games is putting you at the center of the action with 2 chances to win big. Earn entries for our $100,000 prop card challenge daily at Warhorse Casino Lincoln. Enjoy slots, sports wagering, and horse racing. Then make your picks about the big game to be eligible to win. Qualifying entries will also be put in the running for your share of the $20,000 grand prize drawing. Increase your luck for the drawing by playing free online games on the Festival of Games website. Skip the trip to Vegas and get in on the big game right here at Lincoln's favorite place to play. And if that's not enough, our $1 Million Bracket Challenge for college basketball is coming soon. Full details are online at warhorsecasino.com. Warhorse Casino Lincoln, just minutes from downtown at Highway 77 and West Denton Road. Why not today? Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Fuhrer's Cheese Spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Fuhrer's Cheese Spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Fuhrer's Cheese Spread today at your local grocery store.
No matter what indoor or outdoor project is on your list, check it off at the Nebraska Builders Home and Garden Show, February 9th through the 11th at Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Visit with vendors experienced in handling all your dream projects. Spend time viewing displays and exhibits to see the latest in home innovations. Admission is $10 or bring a non-perishable item for the food bank and get a $2 discount. Children 12 and under are free. For more information, visit the Home and Garden Show online at hbal.org.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come for the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the big game at Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of food for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Wings and Rings? It's the big game party with 93.7 The Ticket at Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Gentlemen, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Don't be that guy running to the store for flowers and a card on your way home. Hey, Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. We have great Valentine's gifts in store now. And if you spend $99, we'll throw in a free bouquet of a dozen roses. Give her what she really wants this year and let us do the rest. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, your hometown jeweler since 1905 in Lincoln and Grand Island. Online at sartorheyman.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning, then mainly sunny this afternoon. See a high near 51. Tonight, partly cloudy, then patchy fog developing late with a low near 32. And tomorrow, more fog in the morning, then mainly sunny in the afternoon. We'll see a high near 57. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clutton from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been accused of a crime? Is your liberty and freedom at stake? At Liberty Law Group, we are committed to defending the liberty and pursuing justice for those accused. Going to court is stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. At Liberty Law Group, we carry that burden for you. When legal troubles are keeping you up at night, trust Liberty Law Group to fight your battles. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. Hope you're having a great Monday. Hope you're enjoying your lunch again. Every Monday and Friday noon to 1 p.m. Central Time. Join me. I am live. Grab your lunch. Join me. Hopefully something intelligente comes out at some point. Tuesday, Thursday, Carriker Chronicles and the Big Ten Show. And on Wednesday from noon to 1, check out former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor dropping the knowledge. Noon to 1 p.m. Central Time. Weekdays, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I am joined by a man who has been with 93.7 The Ticket since day one, 2011. Mr. Tom Stevens. How you doing, my friend?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing glorious. Okay, so there's a plethora of things I'd like to chat with you about right off the top. All right, let's talk about the ticket itself and how much it's changed, how different it is now in 2024 versus when you started with it 13 years ago.
Well, I was among the very first crew. Adrian Fiala was kind of how we built the ticket when Ron Romero purchased the ticket back in 2011. It was the very first year in the Big Ten for Nebraska football. We went to Big Ten Media Days. It was a big deal. I was on the air with John Gaskins from 11 to 2 at that time, and we had a great time. But the ticket has grown so much. I mean, let's be honest. The programming's better. We have shows like yours, DP and Jay Foreman. We have some big-time shows on the ticket right now, and it's just grown bigger and bigger. We have more and more athletes. It's great. Way better than it was when I went on the air in 2011, but I'm proud to be a part of starting the ticket.
All right, let's talk about DP behind his back. All right, nobody's listening right now, so we'll just say what we want. Hopefully he's not listening either. All right, talk to me about, since he took over, Derek Pearson, since he took over the ticket a few years ago, some of the biggest changes and the direction that the ticket is going, that for you, for someone who's been here for nearly a decade and a half, what excites you the most for the future?
Well, I'm just excited about the talent. I mean, your show is really, really good. I'm not just saying that because I'm on it. Jay Foreman is obviously extremely talented. DP himself has been around the world of sports. I mean, he worked for the Utah Jazz, for crying out loud. I did a show with DP. It's just a must listen to. I think we're dominating sports talk radio in this market right now. And I never really thought I would say that. I mean, we've always, I think, been a little better than the competition, but I think there's no question now that the ticket is the dominant sports format in Lincoln.
All right, man. So I just chatted with Rico about Nebraska basketball. We didn't talk about the reffing at any point, probably the thing we talked about the most, but we're going to pretend like we didn't talk about it at all. No. Other than the reffing, what's your biggest takeaway from Nebraska's performance? Probably their best road game, despite it being a loss, all season at Illinois in overtime yesterday.
Well, it was tough. I mean, obviously Illinois got the home cooking. I thought that Sam Hoiberg had a clean steal. He was called for a foul. Terrence Shannon gets the steal. It was the same type of thing. He doesn't get called, and the game's over. But Nebraska fought, and that's what we wanted to see. I mean, they still struggle on the boards, but they didn't turn it over much. They only turned it over 9 times. But Illinois dominated the rebounding battle, 50-33. They had 17 offensive rebounds. It's good to see Jawan Gary back. He had 11 rebounds, 12 points, only took 5 shots. He was really efficient. Nebraska played really well. And obviously, Tamanaga, when you get 31, you expect to win that game. He shot 64% from the field. He made 5 of 7 threes. That kid, Nebraska is going to need down the stretch. It felt like a game they could have and probably should have won, but they didn't get a call. I mean, I did not see a foul on that Damascus. The call at the very end of the game, he makes 1 of 2. It goes to overtime. But I really didn't think Nebraska fouled on that possession. But that's the way it is. It's on the road in the Big Ten where it's really tough to win. I think the percentage for everybody is like 25% winning on the road. Even the best teams in college basketball are struggling on the road. It's really tough. Nebraska is going to have to find a way to win a couple road games. Maybe it's Northwestern this week, this Wednesday. They've got a couple of games coming up against Michigan. You'd like to think that they can beat Michigan at home, Penn State at home, Indiana on the road is winnable, Minnesota at home is winnable, at Ohio State. So they've got some very winnable games down the stretch. I think they get to 20, 21, and you're talking about a tournament team. You're talking about a team that's going to get to the tournament this year.
So a couple of things, because I agree with you. I'd be almost flabbergasted if they don't get in the tournament, especially knowing that half of our games left are at home. And like, can you point to 32 at-large teams that are more impressive than what Nebraska's done this year? Like 32 teams should get in ahead of them for an at-large bid, assuming, maybe Nebraska wins the Big Ten tournament. But let's just assume they don't. Like that'd be almost unfathomable to me, if other than just a collapse down the road. Down the 8-game stretch to finish the season, which I just really don't see happening. But I thought Rico had an interesting point during the first 20, 25 minutes of this show. Okay, the reffing, it was what it was. Illinois is allowed to play really physical. Maybe it wasn't the same for both teams. Okay, I don't want to say boo-hoo, but let's move on. But Rico made an interesting point. And that point was, it seemed that our best 5 players on the floor was a little bit smaller lineup. And so maybe that also contributed to not getting as many rebounds. Now, my counter to that would be, I called myself a fat guard, okay, when I played basketball, so I'm okay saying this. The smaller individuals tend to shoot better, especially from distance. Yeah. So maybe our shooting percentage could have been just a smidge better. I mean, you look at Mast. He had 22 points, really good game, but he shot 8 for 21, which is, not as quite as high as you would like, just to pick one guy out of the crowd. What are your thoughts on the point I just kind of pointed out a little bit?
Well, Nebraska was smaller, and the guy you're talking about, the smaller guys, Nebraska's guards did not play well in that game, and I think that's been the season story for Nebraska. Jamarcus Lawrence, who was a very good off guard, has had to play point guard. Aaron Eulis, we know that story, out for the year because of gambling when he was at Iowa. He might be available next year, but Nebraska guards, Jamarcus Lawrence, Bryce Williams, Sam Hoiberg, they were 5 of 17 yesterday. They only had 3 assists. They had 2 turnovers, only 12 assists on 19 shots. Nebraska has struggled to find an answer at the point guard spot this year in general. In some cases, Rick Mask is your best point guard. Kind of like Walker of last year. He's a kind of a point center. Bryce Williams has been good at times. Jamarcus has been good at times. And Sam Hoiberg is not really a true point guard. So they've struggled to find the answer at point guard. They're not a great rebounding team, but when they do win the rebounding battle, they win. But you're talking about an Illinois team that's really athletic. Terrence Shannon, obviously one of the best players in the country, did a great job on Tamanaga, but he still had 31 points. They're going to be what they are. They're just not a great rebounding team, so they're going to struggle against bigger, more athletic teams. But, they've got to find the answer. And I think the answer has been they're a really good 3-point shooting team, but they didn't knock down some open looks yesterday, and I think that's the reason they didn't win.
You make a great point, and it's interesting because I had looked up Northwestern's record, men's basketball record earlier this morning. I couldn't remember exactly what it was. I was close. I said that I thought they only had 2 losses at home. They're 11-1 at home and 2-5 on the road. That's crazy to me, the drastic difference from Nebraska's win-loss record versus home and the road. Northwestern, who's our next opponent, they're 15-7 overall, even though they have lost their 2 most recent games. It's crazy to me. But let's talk a little bit of women's basketball, okay? I had the opportunity to interview Amy Williams a couple of Fridays ago. If you find folks missed that, go back and check it out. We've had the opportunity. Actually, all my daughters got to go watch one of their practices courtside a couple years ago. She's a great coach doing a great job. They're 14-8 at the moment. Okay, so and she even said they haven't played their best basketball yet this year. So what is this women's basketball team capable of if they start to put more things together consistently?
Well, let's be honest, that was not a good loss. That was a bad loss to Rutgers on Saturday. But This is a good basketball team. They just faced a Rutgers team which hadn't won on the road all season. They get their first win. Cassandra Brown had 21 points off the bench. They shoot 60% from the field to beat Nebraska. They were 46% from three. Natalie Potts, who's been really good this year, maybe the freshman of the year in the league, only had 6 points. Alexis Markowski, she had 13 points, but she struggled from the field, had that shot at the buzzer that could have won it for Nebraska. Jazz Shelley maybe hasn't had the year that she would have liked, 11 points. But Nebraska is still sitting okay. They're going to, similar to the men, they need some road wins. They've got Michigan tomorrow, who's 15-8. And then you've got a very tough game against Iowa on Sunday, 21-2. Iowa has the best player in college basketball in Caitlin Clark. She's setting records on TV and attendance records. People live want to see her. So that's going to be tough to beat Iowa, the third-ranked team in the country, on Sunday. Then you're at Ohio State next Wednesday, or Ohio State, I guess you're hosting Ohio State on next Wednesday. And so they're the 8th-ranked team of the country. They've got to find a way to win some of these games that are very winnable. Michigan, Purdue, Northwestern, Minnesota. They probably need to get to 18, 19 wins and then maybe win 1 or 2 games in the tournament to be an NCAA tournament team. But on the women's side, I think the strength in the Big Ten is a little better than it is the men. So Nebraska's men need to win a few more games, unlike the women, because it's a stronger side. I think on the women's side, it's just better. The league's just better.
Yeah, so the women's basketball team, their last 4 games are all winnable, like you mentioned. Purdue, Northwestern, Minnesota, Illinois. They've got, because right before that, as you mentioned, Ohio State, Iowa, Michigan, got 2-1 win-loss record. Like, they're going to have to eke out, at least one of these next 3. I tell you what, Pinnacle Bank Arena is going to be rocking on Sunday for Iowa. Caitlin Clark, everybody's girl next door, favorite player in America coming in. Plus, it's Iowa, our good buddies who we love. But they got to find a way to win one of those 3 and then at least 2 or 3 of the last 4 games down the stretch. And those are all winnable games. All right, my man, let's talk a little bit as we close this out. Nebraska wrestling. All right, number 6 in the country, 9-1. Obviously, I like to keep track of the polar bear, Nash Hutmaker, how he's doing. He's now 4-1 after taking, 3 years off and losing like 30, 40 pounds. All right, so give me your thoughts. I was fortunate enough to interview Mark Manning recently as well. Our kids may end up going to the same high school, potentially. It's same high school as Bill Bush, potentially as well. We'll see how that all plays out. All right, you can send all recruiting baskets to my house, but I didn't say that publicly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, Tom. I kind of started reading my next page here. Tom, what are your thoughts on the wrestling season so far? We've had a solid program for a long time. I feel like it needs to be talked about more, but give me your thoughts on the season so far.
Well, it's been cool. I mean, 10-1, they really could be 11-0 this year. 10-1 in duels, 5-1 the Big Ten, a nice win over Illinois. Mark Manning's an absolute stud. And you're talking about a league that if you win the league, you probably win the national title. I mean, it is so deep, the Big Ten in wrestling. And it's been, as you mentioned, cool to watch Nat Hutmaker. I mean, 4-1 this year. He could be 5-0. We know about his high school record. And I think it's just cool in general that you have all these football players who are playing different sports. I mean, not only Hutmacher, but Nebraska's got Jeremiah Charles and Bryce Turner, and you've got Jalen Lloyd and Malachi Coleman running track. I think that's just really cool that Matt Rule, I don't know, was it like that when you were in school that the coaches were willing to let you play other sports? Because I don't remember a time in Nebraska sports where football players are playing so many other sports.
I don't think we had this many, that's for sure. And it was a little bit different. It was back in a time where if you did track and football, whether you were really there for track or not, you had to go under the football scholarship because, like, Miami hit Santana Moss under a track scholarship way back in the day. In fact, he may have been the reason they kind of altered that rule a little bit. I played with him in D.C., so he told me all about that one day. We did not have this many guys. And you know, people know I'm engulfed in the youth sports world. There may be more multi-sport athletes on the Nebraska football team than there is on my daughter's 12-year-old basketball team right now. But anyways, I digress.
Right. It's just, I think it's just cool too that you have so many guys that are legacies now at Nebraska. You have Caleb Benning, you have Dylan Raiola, you have Quinn Clark and Maverick Noonan, Keelan Smith, Neil Smith's son, Isaac Gifford, his brother played here, Sam Sledge. I mean, you could go on and on. Javen Wright, his dad played here. I think we needed to get back to that, and you know, to have some of these great athletes and have their sons and daughters play at Nebraska. Alexis Markowski, that's a really cool story. So it's exciting. It's fun to follow.
I couldn't agree more. I love the multi-sport athlete thing. Obviously, you know, as long as football's doing well, people will love it. Let's be real. Wins and losses skews everything, and rightfully so to a certain degree. But I'm with you. I love the legacy player thing, and that's something that should happen more often than, you know, if you're a former Husker and your kids decide to go somewhere else, hey, the kid's got to be their own person, and sometimes they want to do that. But if they want to come here and follow in maybe a sibling or a parent's footsteps, I think that's awesome too. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me. Tom, you can check out his phenomenal work, very knowledgeable, does a great job. Okay, co-host of Husker Rewind here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, thanks again, Tom.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
All right, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com. But don't be late, we close at 8.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Member FDIC.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing. My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC. And we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G207684.
The Omaha Supernovas are back in action this Wednesday, February 7th versus the Vegas Thrill at the CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 6 p.m. with first serve at 7. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Junior Achievement at Lincoln inspires and prepares today's young dreamers to be tomorrow's goal breakers, leaders, and things we haven't even imagined yet. Help more kids while having a great time at the JA Bowl-a-thon. Sign your team up and raise money to ensure the educational programs focused on financial literacy, career readiness, and entrepreneurship are always free to thousands of students. The JA Bowl-a-thon is February 16th and 17th at Parkway Lanes and Hollywood Bowl. Register at lincoln.ja.org.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Are you searching for a helping hand in life? Look no further. Integrated Behavioral Health Services is your answer. They're your compassionate, trusted partners committed to guiding you from challenges to triumphs. Their licensed professionals offer personalized therapy for individuals, couples, and families. At IBHS, the focus is you. Experience a life-changing transformation in an environment tailored to your unique needs. Visit ibhealthservices.com today and take that first step towards a brighter future. Discover the power of healing with Integrated Behavioral Health Services. You're not alone. Let them walk this journey with you.
Are you in the market for a new garage door or need to repair your old one? It's wintertime, and that means snow, wind, and freezing temperatures, all things that can cause sticky locks and damage to your garage door. If you're experiencing any issues with your commercial or residential garage door during the winter months, call Cameron Hall and his team at Doors Plus. Don't be trapped outside in the cold because of a poorly maintained garage door. Call Doors Plus today at 402-590-5800 or visit them online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Dylan Riola, the doctor, the Polynesian Bowl. He had a lot of throws. He made a couple nice throws. He threw outs. He threw a deep dig. He threw a slant that went to the house. There were so many different passes that we saw him. And he's got a little quick twitch. Is he fast? No. Quick twitch? Yes. It was good to see him moving around. Listen, he connected with, guess who?
Carter Nelson.
Thank you. We got a chance to see Carter twice. It was good for me to watch that because I think that's a precursor of what's
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. All right, real quick. Check out GE Landscape Supply. See them in person or check them out online at gelandscapesupply.com. Also, you can check out the CarrikerChronicles.com. It's where all your football, wrestling, basketball, volleyball, hopes and dreams will come true. It's just science. I actually just put out, I love having interviews and bringing people on. It's awesome. I love it. But it dawned on me, I hadn't just sat down and done a Chronicles where I just sit down and talk to the people one-on-one or one and the people in quite a while. So I put out that show this morning and ended up being a recap of a lot of things that I hadn't addressed on the Chronicles for about the past 3 weeks. That dropped 57 minutes ago at noon. You can check that out at my YouTube a channel. Now, real quick, we got questions, all right, from the people. This is the people segment, and I'm going to get to those. But I wanted to give some quick thoughts on the Pro Bowl and the skills challenge. Now, the Pro Bowl used to be okay. You got the big hit from Sean Taylor on the punter back in the day, as a Commanders, the team, Redskins guy. That was always something that came up every year in D.C., although let's be honest, we practiced in Ashburn, Virginia. We played in Landover, Maryland. Really had nothing to do with D.C. itself, actually, so that's a bit of a facade, but you get my point. So the Pro Bowl used to be okay, and then they moved it to right before the Super Bowl, so then you didn't have the players playing in the Super Bowl before the Pro Bowl, but it made the Super Bowl better. I like having 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, mostly because if there's anybody dinged up, they get healthy. But then it gradually just got worse and worse and worse. And I'm not going to sit here and chastise anybody. I mean, you got guys that don't want to play in bowl games because we might get hurt. Yeah, you might get hurt. I noticed nobody skipped the high school all-star games. All right, but these bowl games, all of a sudden, we got to skip those. Anyways, I digress. Topic for another day. I never run short of things to talk about. But the Pro Bowl, I get it. Guys not wanting to go a million miles an hour and hurt each other for a game that literally doesn't matter at all. So we've gone to the skills challenges, and we've gone to the flag football game and things of that nature. I find it not as good as a regular football game on any given Sunday, or for me, Saturday. I prefer Saturdays, but I do like Sundays, mostly when week 17 and 18 and beyond rolls around. Up till then, wins and losses don't matter as much, okay? And I've sat in a room where Mike Shanahan looked at us and said, I don't care about the regular season. Just get into the playoffs. I don't care if we're the 1 seed or the 6 seed at the time. That was the lowest seed. He said, because once you get into the second season, you never know what's going to happen, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So I've sat in that room, all right, with Mike Shanahan and other coaches saying those things. Now, that being said, the skills challenge, the 7-on-7 game, is better than what the Pro Bowl used to be. It's not near as good as a random game on any given Saturday or Sunday, but I don't know what you do instead. You can go back to the two-hand touch, full padded game that it was before. I think this is about the best you can do with the Pro Bowl. I'd love to see even more competitions. I think back in the day, 225 bench, 40-yard dashes. I know what they're doing now. Just trying to add and evolve it every year. And who's the fastest in the league? Who's the strongest in the league? And who can do this and who can do that? Let's get just some straight-up one-on-ones, wide receivers versus DBs. Maybe throw a helmet on. I know, like half pads and do some one-on-ones, O-line, D-line. Just keep ramping it up as good as you can every year, improving it every year as much as you can. You're only going to be able to do so much with it. I understand that. All right. Gorilla, we got some questions. Gorilla Bear, recent history with Husker Athletic gives me zero confidence Nebraska will beat Michigan. All right, so that was his statement. Not really a comment. I will say this, okay? I do like that we get Michigan at home. They're not great this year, and we get them at home. I assume you're talking basketball. If we're talking football, yeah, Michigan's going to have the edge right now at this moment in time. Although they're not as good as they were last year, we're going to be better. So hopefully we're closing that gap significantly and hopefully quicker, sooner rather than later. But in basketball, I'm going to take Nebraska over Michigan at home this Saturday. All right, Notorious B.I.B. By the way, he is a repeat question asker, so I want to thank you for that, Notorious B.I.B. Adam, which seems more realistic to you? Husker men's basketball winning an NCAA tournament game or going to the NIT and doing much better there? That is, okay. It's a question I love because it's a great question. It's a question I hate because I don't even want to talk about the NIT. Okay. I think this team can win an NCAA tournament game. They got 2 top 10 wins. All right. Really should, I know, shoulda, coulda, woulda, rest, wham. I get all that. Really should have won on the road versus a top 15 team at Illinois. This is a team that should scare the crap out of people. It really should. Nobody's going to expect them to make a deep run, but in a one-game scenario, the NCAA tournament is the worst way to find a national champion under God's hot sun, but it's also the most exciting, tournament that there is. So in a one-game scenario, in a tournament where anybody can legit beat anybody, all right, I'd be terrified to play Nebraska if I was another team because they've shown they can lose to anybody and they can beat just about anybody. I'm going to go to directly answer your question. I'm going to go winning an NCAA tournament game. I think if they got in the NIT, they tend to play down to the level of their competition. I think they wouldn't do that great, even though they'd be one of the better teams in it. Hopefully we just win no matter where we go, at least one game. But I'm going to go with winning an NCAA tournament game. All right. Ellis in Illinois. As a referee myself, oh boy, here we go. All right. There are certain principles that we are taught to abide by. I'm sure that there are, Ellis. All right. The one call that really bothers me is with 3 seconds left in regulation with the Huskers up 1, the Illinois player missed the shot, and a Husker got the rebound. Game over. But the refs called a phantom, I think he meant foul. It says foul, but a phantom foul, which ended up putting the game into overtime. At that point, the principle that all refs are taught is to make it be there. You've got to love your call at that critical point. In other words, I think he's saying the refs shouldn't determine the outcome of the game in a critical point, like it's got to be an obvious foul. And I think that's what bothered me. I think that's kind of what Rico was getting to earlier. I think that's what bothers a lot of Husker fans is that pivotal. There was just some blatant things that was like, holy smokes. Like I got LASIK. All right. When I was 22, I'm now 39. LASIK lasts about 15 years. All right. And I noticed about 4 years ago, I don't see that well anymore. And I need to get LASIK again. I'm kind of terrified to do it again. It's my eyes, ladies and gentlemen. There's two things I'd rather not lose more than anything else in this world on my body, my eyes, and you can figure out the other. And so I haven't gotten it. So I don't see that phenomenal, but I could see that shouldn't have been called. So I'm with you, Ellis, and I'm sorry I poked at you a little bit. I thought you were going to stick up for the ref, so I apologize. You were right. I was not wrong, but we were both right together. Okay, so I appreciate it. I'm with you. When the game is on the line, unless it's just blatantly obvious, or in your words, you've got to love the call as you wrote in, you got to let the players play. And I think that's what frustrated a lot of Husker fans the most, myself included. All right, man. It's Monday. I hope you all have a great week. If you just got your lunch, I hope you have a great lunch. Go back and watch the show. If you already had your lunch and you joined me, thank you very much. All right, until next time, Husker Nation, go Big Red, and always remember to throw the ball.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning, then mainly sunny this afternoon. See a high near 51. Tonight, partly cloudy, then patchy fog developing late with a low near 32. And tomorrow, more fog in the morning, then mainly sunny in the afternoon. We'll see a high near 57. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Fuhrer's cheese spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Fuhrer's cheese spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Fuhrer's cheese spread today.